All right, class. So I wanted to give you a video post here, and also a document that shows you how to answer these discussion questions and essay questions, where you might quote from the text to back up your answers, and just to give you kind of a general example of, kind of what I'm looking for in these things as well. So, one of our examples, and this will be just like an essay question as well. Essentially, many of the discussion questions or prompts, writing prompts, whatever you want to call them, the one and two here under week two discussion, essentially there are the types of questions that will be on essays. So it's pretty much the same thing, except for the discussions are a little bit shorter. So here is an example of how to do, for instance, the discussion post for this Friday. And also, this might be one of the questions on, the essay, your first essay or the essay test. So here we go. So here's our, the one we're doing. Um, Choose one item from our content this week and discuss how it contains the characteristics of regionalism. All right. So as you can see, the the example question here is just that. And one good way to start on any essay test, no matter what literature course you take, one good way to start your answer, your short essay answer, long essay answer, whatever, is to kind of restate the question and answer it. So I gave you an example here. Um, my example answer. I just kind of threw this together quickly, so forgive me if it's sloppy. Mark Twain's The Notorious Jumping Frog of Calaveras County expresses and defines the traits of regionalism because of its specific use of dialect, culture, regional description, characters, and history. Okay, so that's going to essentially be my thesis. All I did was I restated the question and I answered it. And to answer it, I had to use elements from, the information I gave you on what regionalism is, its characteristics. So I went ahead and outlined those in the thesis. Um, okay, so now that I've got that thesis, I'm going to explain those points, and I'm going to back them up with examples from the text. Now, every example you use doesn't have to be a quoted example, okay? I mean, some things you just don't need to quote. Like in this first sentence, Twain's use of location is established in both the title, Calaveras County, and second paragraph, Angels Mining Camp. But it is his descriptions of that location and its characters that establish American regionalism. So essentially, I gave you kind of one answer there. Of the one part of regionalism is location, right? Topography, regional, where it is. So I gave you that both in the county and the setting here, Angels Mining Camp and Calaveras. So now I want to get a little bit deeper into, how he establishes American regionalism, specifically dialect, culture, characters, all that good stuff. So now my next part is going to use quoted material. And I quoted from page one of an online short story, so I just gave it a page one citation at the end. And here we go. The chief character lounges next to barroom stoves in dilapidated taverns in the decaying mining camp of Angel, which is an example of many locations unique to the Americas during the gold rush. Okay, so what I did there was I gave you kind of a description that is regional, that's unique to America, because right now, only in the Americas are you having this gold rush in North and South America. And these camps and towns are popping up here and there all over the place. So these are things that are uniquely American, and it is regional to the West, where the gold rush was. Specifically, we're in California here. I'm also going to attempt, you can kind of see where I said unique to the Americas during the gold rush. What I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to transition it into the next characteristic, which is history. Oftentimes, regionalism expresses a period of history. So I'm going to transition that into this next part. This also contains elements of American history as it relates to the rise and fall of gold and silver camps and towns. Um, his characters and subject matter also connote American culture specific to geography, including frog jumping and racing contests. From Simon Wheeler to Smiley, the characters are uniquely American who use regional dialect through words like veteran and underdog, And then I cited that as, Twain too. And I feel like I've given you an example now of dialect, culture, regional description, characters, and history. That's all regionalism, right? So now I'm just going to wrap it up with like a one or two short sentences that act like as a conclusion. And I want to try to restate my ideas, but I also want to try to take it to the next level. So I close this discussion post, or if it's an essay test, an essay answer off with Twain's use of regional elements contributes to the age of realism in American literature. More importantly, he begins to establish the American literary voice that is wholly unique to the world at this time. So, in the first sentence there, Twain's use of regional elements, I'm kind of restating the idea that this discussion post is about regional elements. But I'm also bringing to the reader's attention that regionalism is part of realism. And to kind of close this stuff out and sound like a smarty pants, I want to connect it to kind of the broader picture of what's going on in America, and basically it's that the literary voice of America is just now really being established on a worldwide scale, and so I want to kind of wrap it up with that. You might not always be able to kind of take it to the next level like that, but that's the goal. I mean, if you're looking for like an A plus, that's the goal here. So this is essentially how you'll do an essay test question, how you'll answer it, or a discussion post question. And I hope that this example is helpful for you guys. Have a good day.